All right, Ms. Hahn.
Yes, Your Honor. We ask that you accept the negotiated plea. I talked to my client about the potential risk of giving a false name. She understands that the name that was given is her sister's. We talked about yes, Your Honor. We talked about the harm that that could cause her sister. She fully understands. She accepts responsibility.
Ms. Hahn is trying to save you from me fussing at you, Ms. Murphy. She's trying to tell you all the stuff that I would say in a harsh way, in a nice way. But ma'am, first of all, how old are you, ma'am?
I'm 48, ma'am.
Ooh, you're good and grown. And when I say that, I mean, it's time to start taking responsibility for your own actions. Number one, by giving a false name, address, or date of birth, you picked up 3 charges because all 3 of these charges were based on you lying to the police.
Yes.
And you spent time in jail because you lied to the police. Now, if you already had a warrant, I get that. But what would have happened is they would have picked you up on the warrant. You would have gone to wherever the warrant is out of, and you would have resolved that case. And those 30 days might have counted towards whatever your warrant status was in that case. But you spent 30 days in the interesting hostel that now is the Clayton County Jail. And at this point, it's almost you basically would threatened your own life by going to the Clayton County Jail because it's not good up in there now. And you could have just gone ahead and handled the situation that was existing. So you picked up 3 state charges because you thought you were slick. But ma'am, if we opening phones with our eyes and our face and our fingers, and why do you think it's going to be hard? Because you've been here before. I've seen you before. So why you think if I can recognize you that the police can't recognize you?
I was not thinking, ma'am, and I really wasn't thinking. I don't know why I did what I did, and I apologize thoroughly to my sister. And we did speak, and I understand the risk that and I don't have no excuse for what I did.
No, ma'am. All right then. Well, now hopefully you will not do that again because that's 30 days of your life you'll never get back. So 12 months to serve 30 days, credit for time served, balance will be suspended as long as you have no new violations of the laws of the state of Georgia. That will be on counts 1 and 2 and one run concurrent. Count 3 will be no pros. And you can go back with the sheriff's office now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Your Honor, we just ask that you accept the recommendation.
Mr. Lucy, how old are you?
I just turned 21.
Mr. Lucy, how what you gonna do with your life, sir? I said this before, I'm gonna say it again. You look exactly like the choices you make. You in a jumpsuit in jail because you made bad choices. Now you're 21 years old. How do you want the rest of your life to look? You want to be taking stuff from people when you could get your own? You want to be ended up in jail? I mean, sir, you need to really make some decisions because bad choices lead to bad life outcomes. If you want to spend the rest of your time in and out of jail because it's cool, man, or do you want to have a good life? These are the choices you're facing here at 21 years old.
And so Your Honor is aware he is currently booked in on a felony theft violation.
Oh, so that's what you do. That's your career now? You're just taking stuff? That's your career? That's the life you've chosen to live?
No, ma'am.
Well, I mean, it seems so, Mr. Lucy, because you down here in state court with a misdemeanor, and now you upstairs with a felony. I will tell you, sir, all that stuff people glamorize on TV and on the internet and everything. First of all of those influencers that encourage you to get all these things, they don't have them. Either they're borrowing them from the company so they can put them on the Instagram, or they scraping up all their little money to get them together. But it's not worth it. And the second thing is that you're going to jail. I mean, is this how you want to spend your life? Because when you go upstairs, I pray that you're not in front of Judge Mason, because he don't care about you and your little life problems. He will put you in prison, no doubt, so quick and for so long. And so if this is how you want your life to look, then you're on the right path. But if you want to have a good life, this is not the path. And then I'm going to tell you something. Nothing good comes to people who take from other people. It might be good in the short term, but as you can see, eventually it catches up to you. You inconvenienced that poor lady. You took her phone. You don't know what she was dependent upon on that phone. You don't know what she needed, how you inconvenienced her that day. Did she have children she needed to check on? Did she have a mother who was sick? You don't know. But you can't get good in your life if you give bad to other people. I want you to think about that. When you give out bad, you get bad. So I'm going to accept your plea of NOLO to count 1 and guilty to count 2. Count 1 is a $300 fine. That's going to be $444 with the surcharges. And count 2 is 12 months probation, 37 days credit for time served. Balance will be for you to pay a $200 fine, which is going to be $298. And then 30 hours of community service and a theft prevention class, which costs something, but I don't know what it costs. And Ms. Hahn is going to ask me for a concession of some sort. Yes, ma'am, Ms. Hahn.
Your Honor, well, I guess not really a concession, but considering the fact that I just looked, I meant to ask Ms. Williams this, and I apologize, I forgot, but he doesn't have a bond on the felony. So he's going to be in here for a while, and I don't know how he's going to.
Okay, so I'll give him credit for time served in lieu of the $300 fine and the $200 fine. I'll give him credit.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, but he still got to do the 30 days community service and the theft prevention course when he gets out.
That's fine, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. Count 2 will run concurrent with count 1, or count 1 will run concurrent with count 2. And Mr. Lucy, hopefully things go okay for you upstairs, but I'm just saying, sir, if you make the kind of choices that end up with you being in prison, you don't have anybody to blame but yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
And Judge Hayward, just
All
so you're aware, Your Honor, it's actually not Judge Mason who's handling it. It's going to be Judge Malone, and Judge Malone scares me, so I can only imagine how that's going to turn out for Mr. Lucy.
Ooh, I'm gonna pray for you, Mr. Lucy. Go on back with the sheriff.
Me too. You'll need it, sir.
Yeah.
Breaks my heart when they start that young, Your Honor.
I know, 21. I mean, he just turned 21. I just don't know what to say.
Mm-hmm.
I just say, you make bad choices, you get bad outcomes. That's all I can think of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had a friend of mine recently, grew up with her, just passed away because of alcohol poisoning. And I'm like, here I am, the prosecutor of the DUI court, and here's someone who died of alcohol poisoning.
Just think about it. If he had reached out to you, you could have pointed him in the direction of so many resources.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like it. And these kids, I tell you, they're in our community. They're like our own children. So it's like, yeah.
Well, that's why I fuss so much, Mr. Tipton, because mamas tend to do that. When we got a child, then everybody's child becomes our child, and we don't want to see anybody's child go by the wayside. Okay. Anything on behalf of Ms. Wells, Mr. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. This case is approximately, I think, 3 to 4 years old, Your Honor. She's on arraignment today, taking responsibility by entering a plea. She is gainfully employed. However, her work requires her to go to Florida occasionally. I would like to ask if the court will allow her probation to be reported either over the phone or through email. And I did speak with her, just for the record, I did speak with her about an option about using first offender, which the state did confirm that she is eligible. However, she chose not to use first offenders. I just wanted to place that on the record. And Your Honor, I'd like to ask also if the court will allow her probation to either terminate upon completion or be non-reporting due to the circumstance of the nature of the charges. And she'll be adamantly working to get the complete community service done. Additionally, I believe she had posted all cash bond through the jail. So she's hoping to get some of that money back to pay the fine off as well, Judge. So I'd just like to ask the court to accept a negotiated plea as well.
Yeah. So Ms. Wells, once the sentence has been complete, you can contact the jail and they'll refund your bond, whatever they don't take as a small administrative fee. They'll refund the remainder of your bond. So that's fine. As of today, your case is resolved. So you can go back to get them and get your cash But the other thing is, like, what's your job? Like, is it you got to go to Florida on a regular basis, or you can make arrangements? Because I would prefer if you did your probation here.
I dance in Miami.
Okay. I used to represent clubs, so kind of got that. But are you a feature? Can you arrange it yourself, or you just kind of go?
Yeah, I don't like reside here anymore, like permanently. Like I don't have an address here, cause I just be down there, like mostly, like
Okay.
at hotels and stuff.
All right. So I'll allow you to do phone and mail, but don't mess it up, ma'am. So essentially, when I say phone and mail, it is mail. Get the forms, get your envelopes pre-stamped, and so every time you need to report, you can go ahead and report. You can take a gun safety course down there in Florida and get a certificate. They got plenty of gun ranges down there. They probably sometimes even have like ladies' night and stuff like that. And I get now why you have a firearm, but if you're going to have a firearm, I need you to make sure that it is secured properly when it is not on you. And I also need you to take classes and be sure that you are a good shot, that you know how to carry the gun, know how to use it, because a gun is no good if you don't, like, what happens when you pull it. If
Yeah.
you don't know what you're doing, if you're not a good shot, if you're not trained to react in a stressful shooting environment. Okay, those are all things you should want to do for yourself, because if you carrying a gun, if you ever needed it, you got to be able to react under some trying situations.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I'm not saying you shouldn't have one. I'm just saying if you've got to have one, then you need to make sure that you have one and can use it properly.
Okay.
Right? You feeling what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And in fact, I need to go back to the range myself.
And you said with the mail, they gonna. You said huh?
So they'll give you a form. And what you do is you complete that form with all of the particulars of what you need to do. The reason I say it's difficult to report by phone is because all of our probation officers have a huge number of cases. And if everybody was calling in, they wouldn't get to anybody. And a lot of time they're in court and they're not even at their desk to answer. I would phone and mail report, but I mean, generally, okay, somebody has their mic on and I need you to mute so I can hear myself. Okay, so I generally mean that you're going to report by mail. That is the best way to do it. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you're back and forth and you're in a hotel. At least that's something you know, where if you pass a post office, you can just drop it in the post office.
Okay.
All right. Be very intentional about it, and be very intentional about going to the range and learning how to shoot and learning how to use. Ask for active shooter, stress shooter situations where they can put you in a class where you're shooting under a situation that you might actually face.
Okay.
All right, because people don't talk about the dangers that dancers have when, maybe somebody gets a little bit too close or they get a little too obsessed, or, things like that happen. And so you need to be able to protect yourself.
Okay.
All right. Am I saying anything that doesn't make sense?
No, ma'am.
You feel me like I know a little bit about what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right, so I'm going to accept your plea of guilty to count 1, nolo to count 2. I'll sentence you to 12 months to serve 1 day credit for time served. The balance will be probated. The fine is $200. With the surcharges, it'll be $298, and do 40 hours of community service. You can do that here or in Florida. And then count 2 is a NOLO. That'll run concurrent with count 1, meaning the same time as. You're just going to have the same 12 months to do this. It's a $300 fine, which is going to be $444 with the surcharges. And you'll take a gun safety course. Just find a good firearms training facility. They got tons of them in Florida. And then once you go in there, just tell them you need to take a gun safety course, and you would, and then after that, if you, for the stress shooter or active shooter, then you can do that. And then you're going to forfeit this gun, okay? But that's
Yes.
probably already been done because the police probably kept it.
Yeah, they got it.
Okay, all
I
right.
ain't had one since. I'm like, oh wow.
But like I said, I'm not saying you can't have a gun, but what I'm saying is, and I said this earlier to the gentleman, if you go to an airport and you got your gun in your bag, that means that you don't have a sense of where your gun is always. And as a responsible gun owner, you always need to know where your gun is. Like I know right now, I can tell you exactly where my guns are.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And that keeps everybody safe. All right. All right. So I'm going to put you in a breakout room with probation. They're going to explain everything that you need to know about phone and mail report. Also phone and mail report. Mr. Kim, you had a question?
I just wanted to ask, in regards to the request for the probation terminating upon completion or non-reporting, I'm not sure if the
If
court.
she completes everything, then I'll ask, then her probation officer can come to me and ask for termination. I don't have a problem with that.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kim. Miss,
Thank you.
you're welcome, Miss Wells, and be safe, Miss Wells. You're gonna, Miss Wells, just as an aside, be very astute about your money so that you don't end up like ball players broke at the end of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Get you a financial advisor.
Okay.
All right. Okay. All right. So I'm going to put you in a breakout room with Miss James. Once you've
And-
spoken to Miss James, then you can you'll be free to go. Okay.
Okay, and quick question.
Yes,
They
ma'am.
gonna tell me everything, like, is it gonna be like a printout of the stuff that I have to do? Like,
You're going to get us the sentencing sheet, but she'll have other information for you. I'm not sure how they give it to you. They may just email it to you or whatever. But if you need anything in writing, just ask Miss James, and they'll work with you on that. Okay.
okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Hold on. I'm going to put you in the breakout room.
All right, thank you.